us, the defendants, without informing the lawyers, without informing anybody. This is really messing with people's life.
We don't even know why the court door is locked. We were not informed officially by anyone that the court has been adjourned. We don't know what date is the court, and we definitely don't want to be considered as in absentia. So we're here and we're prepared. I brought a bag for the scenario that I might go back to prison. I packed some clothes, toothbrush, slippers, and I was ready in case I'm sent back to prison. However, we know we're innocent journalists. We have not done anything wrong. We have not fabricated reports. We have not conspired with the Muslim Brotherhood. If there are issues of operational licenses, this is Al Jazeera's responsibilities, not us. We have explained to the judge on and on that he needs to separate between the responsibilities of the journalist and the responsibilities of the network. We should not pay the price. And now we're here expecting this 19-month ordeal to be over, and there's no one here.
It clearly frustrated Mohammed Fahmy. Well, in order for you to understand why he was like that after what happened today, we'd like to take you through how many times this trial has been postponed. Well, the first hearing was on February the 23rd of this year. Then it was fixed for March the 8th, 2015. It was then moved to March the 19th, and then moved again to March the 27th, then moved again to April the 22nd, and then again to April the 28th. It was postponed to May the 9th, 2015, and then postponed to June the 3rd. After that, it was postponed to June the 11th, and then June the 25th, and also to what happened today was postponed to June the 30th. On arrival to court today, Baher Mohammed and Mohammed Fahmy were told that their hearing had been postponed without any reason being given and no new date. Well, at this point, we're going to take you through what's happening to Egypt's tourism industry as regards media reportage. Now, media reportage of terrorism or political turmoil has the potential to either shape individuals' perception of destinations or mar it. Now, prior to 2011, the start of the Egyptian revolution, the tourism industry was the bedrock of the Egyptian economy, generating approximately 11.4% of Egyptian GDP and supplying about 12.6% of direct and indirect job opportunities for the Egyptian workforce. The political and social turbulence Egypt has witnessed in the past 4 years has been severely detrimental to Egypt's once prosperous tourism sector. Social media undoubtedly continues to play a crucial role in the dissemination of updates on Egypt's woes to the rest of the world. The ensuing negative publicity has brought the tourism industry to its knees. Egypt has been hit with a toppling 95% decline in tourism revenue. Now we're joined from Cairo by the Voice of America's Edward Iranian. Edward, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Now, it was you who drew my attention to this negative reportage being done by journalists in order to dissuade tourist travel. Could it be related to the government's crackdown on the press?
No, I think it's the other way around. I think the government is cracking down on the press because they perceive that the press is putting out overly negative information. And I can see that with some of the stories that I've written. I've had them completely rewritten, every graph rewritten to make it sound completely negative, when in fact I tried to make it sound neutral. And I see that with the wire copy. 2 of the 3 wire agencies generally put out neutral copy, and one persistently, consistently, and I won't name it, puts out negative copy on Egypt.
Well, Edward, at this time, isn't this the wrong way to go? Because really, it all comes down to the power of the pen. The more you crack down on the journalists, the more they're going to get worse. It's not going to get better.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. I've tried to tell Egyptians that until I'm blue in the face, but they come back with the fact that a lot of media organizations, and specifically Al Jazeera TV, they tell me, distort the truth. And I watch a lot of Jazeera TV, the Arabic version, and I see them frequently distorting the truth that I see. So I can only agree with the Egyptians on that point.
Well, so who exactly is responsible for the distortion? Are you saying is it the journalists or is it the organization? In fact, let's not even go into that at all. Let's just talk about the journalists, plain and simple. Is there any information on the new dates for the retrial? Because based on what we understand, at least up until this point, there was no reason given for the postponement and there's been no new dates announced. Is that still the case?
Yes, an Egyptian newspaper indicated that they thought the retrial would be held on August the 8th. The reopening or the christening of the new Suez Canal is supposed to take place on the 6th, and I doubt seriously that the judiciary would want to make waves with a political trial like that before the christening of the Suez Canal, since there are supposed to be 50 foreign leaders who are coming.
No, Edward, just before I let you go, it was you who drew my attention to this, like I said earlier on. Are we correct in saying that there's been a 95% decline in tourism revenue? Is that accurate? Is it an underestimation, or is it worse?
Cynthia, you know, numbers in the Middle East are very erratic and unreliable. I haven't seen those numbers. In fact, the Egyptians are putting out numbers to the effect that they were expecting this year that tourism bookings would be, there would be 12 million tourists compared to 15 million in 2010. Of course, there was a suicide bombing in Luxor in June. That's supposed to have affected the tourist bookings. But really, as far as the financial aspect of it goes, numbers are notoriously unreliable. And I could give you the numbers I've seen, which look actually fairly positive, but I'm sure they're not as positive as the Egyptian government is putting out, and not as negative as the ones you're suggesting.
Well, we're very grateful either way. Thank you very much, Edward. It's been nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Cynthia.
The Voice of America's Edward Iranian reporting from Cairo. Now, at this point, we don't have a question of the day. We actually have a task of the day. We're asking you to use your Twitter handle, the power of your fingers, to support the Al Jazeera journalists. That's the trio of Peter Grester, also Bahir Mohammed and Mohammed Fahmy. You can also feel free to reach out to us for your comments, either via email or Twitter. The address and handle are right there on your screen. As always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for watching Network Africa on Channels Television. I'm Cynthia Are.